my Samuel Hill voice was in your wallet. I got that fire. I got that fire. I got that fire. I got that fire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. It's your man, 50 Grand, Kevin Barnes, the man in black, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer. What it do, what it do. It's another episode of the Big Black Sports Show on a Tuesday night, man. What is cracking? Man, welcome to the show. 414 Capitol Drive in Atkinson. Stand up. Never, ever sit down. Always Capitol Drive in Atkinson all day. I got my partner in the house with me. As you can tell, I'm feeling good. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Doing good. Glad to be here live in effect.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Give it up for the boy, Coach Tank, Mr. Larry Pardue, right? Mr. Pardue to you, right? In case you don't know the brother. This is what we do on a Tuesday. It's called the Big Black Sports Show. Welcome to the People's Network. I do Outlaw Radio on Mondays and Wednesdays. I do the Big Black Sports Show along with my partner here on Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, I just go for self and I do Outlaw Nation. So it's more than enough to keep you occupied, keep you entertained, keep you enlightened. I just hope that you down to go through the rough times as well as the smooth times. I hate fair weather friends, man. How about you?
Yeah, same thing. I hate them too.
Right. Everybody want to be down when it's going is good, right? It's about who's going to be tough till the end of the road. We talk about sports on here because I don't think there's enough black perspective. When I hear people talk about sports on ESPN, any channel, I always feel like they're talking about us once again, not talking to us, because when we talk about sports, the majority of the greatest athletes, in case you've checked or have not checked, are people of color, aka black people. So usually any situation that we're in, we're going to make it more exciting. We're going to give it some flair. We're going to give it some savoir-faire. And I feel like we don't get enough respect. I feel like they try to act like these games can be played without us. We have made a lot of people vast fortunes with our athletic abilities, and we're very, very seldomly able to reap the benefits of it when it comes to the big picture, because every athlete has to stop being an athlete sooner or later. But I'm not trying to be grim. We love to talk about sports. We love to really converse about who's the best and who's the greatest and who's this and who's that. So this is what we do on the show. Me and my brother, Mr. Purdue. Man, how you feeling, man? I mean, we've been off a week. I don't know. I get to come on Mondays and I get Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I don't get the withdrawal. I'm a microphone fiend. I don't know about you. How you feeling? You've been off a whole week.
I'm feeling good, man. I attended a coaching clinic this weekend in Chicago, man, and I had a great time. I learned a lot, and it just felt great, man. You know, just meeting a lot of coaches from around the area, all over the Midwest. Some from down south. You know, it felt good, and I learned some new tricks too, man. So I can't wait to start training these kids and implementing this new stuff that I've learned.
Okay, and so I think it's impressive that you know what they say, iron sharpens iron. I think it's important that you, if you're gonna call yourself a coach, at least go and try to learn some tricks of the trade. There's some nuances to coaching, to leadership, to motivation, to education. You always got to stay ahead of the trends and make sure you know what's what. And that's the thing about the game, is the game passes us by. So sometimes as players or coaches, when we're done and we looking at TV, we say, I can still do that. Well, it's changed. And unless you're ready to make some adjustments to, you know, how you got down, I don't know that you'll be able to make those changes. So wanted to throw that out there for all you coaches. So shout out to you, man, for going to, now you said this was in Chicago. Was this football specific, or was it just kind of like about
it was football specific. It's called the Glazier Clinics, and actually they have them all over the country during the same time period.
Okay.
So I coach in Milwaukee Marshall, and some coaches actually went to Atlanta. You know, so they but they were all over the pretty much all over the country. And I was enjoyed it.
Okay. I never got a chance. I never got a chance when I was coaching to really do the clinics. I know we were supposed to go to a couple. I never got a chance to go. I went to one here. I take that back. And then there was the mandatory one that we had to do used to have to do to get your certification. But it was always a good time to sit around with, other brothers who was involved and who was, in the game and working with the young brothers and like so it was always a good time. I would tell any young coach, and I've told brothers this plenty of times, like if you want to get into coaching, and they say, well, what should I do to be a better coach? And I tell them, look, go to some clinics, listen to some experienced coaches. A lot of those old dudes, they got some tricks up their sleeve. And you don't football, and in particular with football is the hardest sport to win at. I don't care what level it is, from kindergarten all the way up. Football is the hardest sport to win at. It's very hard because it's hard to get 11 people to do the right thing at the same time, and to do it consistently for some hours is something else. But since we're talking about football, we already know what the big story here is today, right? Aaron Rodgers got a $200 million contract. People say, well, Kev, why did you play that sound? Because this should be a good thing. I totally want to keep this in perspective. I totally want the context to match the situation. $200 million to play a game. I love football. And Aaron Rodgers is that dude, as far as I'm concerned. But $200 million to play football. If you think about it like this, the individual that you send your child to learn how to read, in some cases, doesn't even make $50,000 a year. But we have a situation here where we have professional athletes with 200. What is he making? $50 million a year? Oh my God! Look! Come on, man! Like,
isn't guaranteed?
Say that. How did you broke up a little bit?
Isn't 53?
I heard 53 million of it. I heard 153 million of it was guaranteed. That's what I initially heard. Out of the 200 million, 153, and maybe it is 53 million, but because the details of this whole thing is still kind of, they've been like, up in the air or whatever. So, so as a football fan, is Aaron Rodgers worth $50 million a year for the next 4 years? 50 million. I mean, one thing when we talk about football, the only thing I can say about Aaron Rodgers is that he does not have a Super Bowl ring. I mean, it doesn't have two. He has one. He only has one. And we've had so many opportunities to go back to the Super Bowl. Like, we haven't even been back. I'm saying we, like I'm on the damn team, right? Everybody in Wisconsin say we when it comes to the Packers, unless you one of them special people out there who live here and don't like the Packers, right? But so from a football perspective, I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers do enough in the playoffs to warrant $50 million a year. But I have seen him do enough in the regular season to warrant $50 million a year. I did see him win a Super Bowl a long time ago, so that gives him that special distinction. And I do think there's no other quarterback who has the same arm talent as Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Josh Allen.
But it's not. Yeah. He has a strong arm, but not. It's not. He can't do the things with his arm that Aaron Rodgers can do. You disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
He's in that. He's on that level.
Your mic is breaking up, Tank. Your mic is breaking up. I'm having some problems hearing you. Okay. You might have to move it closer instead of farther.
I'm always having technical difficulties. Is this fine?
Yeah, that should be okay. So, but you said you agree, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
It's just times is tough, man. It's hard for me to justify paying anybody $50 million to play a sport. Like, and of course, it's not up to me. And people say, Kev, it ain't up to you. You're right. It's not up to me. But $50 million, right? Like, so, okay. So it's a sports show, right? Like, so we're gonna talk sports. We talk about football from a team perspective. Now they placed the franchise tag on Davante Adams. And if people don't know what that means, that's basically where a team has the option. if you're important enough to them, in order to keep you from signing somewhere else, they can hit you what they call a franchise tag, but it qualifies you to play for a certain amount of money, but on a 1-year deal. So they're saying his deal will be $20 million, $20 million for 1 year. Okay.
That's a $70 million connection.
That is $70 million right there. Like, you know, and so we gotta have 9 other people on offense and 11 more on defense. So I feel like they're making, the Packers came out early, dropped their cap number because they were like $47 million over the cap, and then they came out and they made some moves with some contract adjustments, and they cleared half of that. So they were like, they're still, I think, $26 million over the cap, but supposedly Aaron Rodgers will count, his cap number will be lower now because his deal is spread out, right? Like, so
right.
So now we ain't even addressed defense yet. I know you one of them offensive dudes, like, you touchdowns, go touchdowns. What are you leaving here for the defense? Like, I'm like, you know, you do understand we got to have some people who can play defense as well. So, do you think this was the right move for the Packers?
The right move, yes. 4 years for 2. That's way too much. I mean, usually sports stars they compare the stars when they go, right? So let's compare Aaron Rodgers to Michael Jordan. Because I think Michael Jordan feels the Bulls gave a year. I think.
Right.
It makes everybody know. But and I know this was in the 90s. I think it was in the late 90s that they gave Jordan his deal. But considering all that Jordan accomplished towards the end of his career, still being one of the players in the league, and he got $3 million a year. Here, Aaron Rodgers, towards the end of his career, but let's be honest, not quite the same career that Jordan had, and he's primed to make $3 million a year. Now we know it's not guaranteed, but still, I mean, he can get on the field next year, man, and crack his ankle in game 3 and say, "Hey, I quit." In 153 guaranteed. They'll probably fight back, but that's too much guaranteed money out of the contract.
Look, everybody says the way to get a championship is to have this world-class quarterback. Okay, and I
agree.
That's up for debate. I don't necessarily subscribe to that because, like I said, there have been a lot of game managers who have Super Bowl rings. But I just think it's what I said on the last show. Is when I stated that the problem with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who obviously, when you're of his stature, you handcuff your franchise because how much of this payroll is going to you, and that prevents us from doing other things. Okay, so you know, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move football wise because that does guarantee you that you will have the top. And you know, Tom Brady's gone. You know, Russell Wilson's out the NFC now, and so who else? What other quarterbacks do we have? Look, right now Minnesota's in free fall. Detroit is Detroit. Right. Chicago. Right, like so, it's definitely guarantees you the Central. You know, for the next, as long as he's healthy, right? Like I don't want to, you know, knock on wood or whatever, you know, but will we be able to get another Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? What has to happen for us to get another Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, we got to solidify the defense now, you know, which is going to be hard because we don't have the money to do it. So trades, free agency, and we've been making some pretty good drafts, man. So maybe we can let them get a couple of good ones. But yeah, we got to address defense now. We don't address defense, it's going to be the same thing.
Right. And that's the key. See, is if you don't, and I'm glad you said that, because
I agree with you on the defense.
Right.
Finally.
If people who don't understand football don't know, like if you don't, it doesn't matter who we got all the greatest receivers and the greatest running backs. Look, if you can't stop the run or cover on the back end, it's going to be very hard for you to win anything, much less a championship. So, so the NFL, we get down to it today. You see what's going on. Russell Wilson gets traded from the Denver Broncos for the ship.
Wow.
Like they sent the whole ship to Seattle for Russell.
One of those kids, Shelby Harris, played at Homestead, right?
Okay. Did he?
Involved in that trade.
The defensive lineman.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to him. Man, they gave up the farm for Russell. Like, okay, Russell in Seattle, I guess last year Russell didn't look like, he didn't look like himself. He threw one too many picks. But see, now this is where the race thing comes into play at. Because as a black quarterback, Russell is gone. Like, as soon as there's a little evidence of a decline, just a little bit, you gone. Okay, we'll let you go.
Right.
But even when Aaron Rodgers had broke his shoulder and came back, and then it didn't look too good under Mike McCarthy, and then he had a couple shaky years, it was still like, no way. People saying, oh, he's done. People here was like, nope. So I don't know. Am I being too racially paranoid? Because I know the NFL is like such a slavalistic. Hell yeah, slavalistic. I just made up a word. It's such a slavalistic league. So do you think his race played into him for them pulling the trigger and sending him to Denver?
Well, I think the fact that he wanted to leave, I think that kind of helped fuel.
Okay.
I like the move for Russell Wilson, but for Denver overall, that's a terrible move. That's a crazy move. So what do they see in him that he has to maintain that can take them somewhere? I don't get it, man.
Wait. It's so you don't think Russell will be a good fit in Denver?
Now, see, Denver got they got some pieces over there.
Right.
They got some pieces over there. The right pieces fit. Things can happen. But it looks like they want to do it right away. It looks like they think that giving up the mortgage for Russell, they should probably go deep in the playoffs this year. But man, that's a risky move. Because if he don't pan out, or if he becomes injury prone.
Well, I mean, they got to protect him. I mean, the thing about Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson will run with the pill, but he's more about throwing it. Russell is more of the closest when it comes to black quarterbacks. I think Russell will be the one that's closest. I think Jameis was not a runner. Jameis Winston, he's a pocket passer too, but I think Russell is one of those dudes, and he's a little bit shorter, so you got to move the pocket a little bit. Yeah, you got to watch. Like, I think with Russell, you have to run. You got to run a slick offense. Like you got to have somebody who's dynamic as a play caller. You can't have no fuddy-duddy in there trying to run. I'm going to make him drop back 7 steps. Well, I know that style of football is dead anyways. But
right.
I think this could be good for Denver. What I'm really waiting, they got a black quarterback. I'm standing on the edge. I'm getting ready to jump a little bit. I need for them to either let Byron Allen or either Kanye West crazy ass get the team now.
Man, I do not want to see easy cleats, man. I do not want to see easy cleats.
I don't want to see easy cleats either, but it's time for a black owner in the NFL, man. It's time for a black owner.
Imagine that. I hear you.
Oh man, now that you said that, and I'm thinking like they might come out with raggedy ass jerseys and shit.
Man.
But it would be good for the NFL because I would love to see the looks on those owners, this good old boy, this $1 Million Boys Club. I would love to see the looks on their faces when they came out in Yeezy cleats, you know, or Kanye West. Everybody got to wear like the mask he wear with just some eye, like
Right.
all of the weird shit that Kanye would bring to the table. I would love to see these good old, with Jerry Jones, old 150,000-year-old ass, rich ass. Goddamn, we done let a nigger in here.
I can just imagine him redesigning helmets and shit.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
It'll be a whole new code of ethics for all the owners all of a sudden, man. It'll be crazy. But I think Byron Allen, and I'm hoping, I felt like Byron Allen was the brother who was in position because of, you know, what he does and what kind of businessman he has been. I felt like he'd be the perfect one. Now, I don't know what group he got to go in with him. It still amazes me that he would be standing alone on this. Like, I would think he would at least have like Magic and, you know, Jordan or one of these brothers who got, you know, real. I mean, even Jay-Z. Like, I would think that they would all be saying, "No, this is us," right? Is it a conflict for Jay because he works for the NFL? I'm calling him Jay like I know him and shit. Sean. Is it a conflict of interest for him because he works for the NFL? So, you know, or he has a little, I don't know what he does for him. They say that he was the reason that Super Bowl show happened, the halftime show. So
yeah. I heard he almost quit too.
Well, you know, I heard Snoop.
Stressed.
I mean, be honest though. Like, somebody who, if you know somebody or if you got a relative or friend that smoke as much weed as Snoop, right? Like, would you really believe anything they say? Like, cause you never know when you talking to them, and the next day you're like, "What?" I said, "What?" Oh man, you know, I was high. Like, honestly, it's plenty of times they had some like quote or something attributed to Snoop, and then like a day later be somebody like, "Nah, Snoop lying." Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's time for a black owner. It's time for a black owner in NFL. So that would be nice to have a new, you know, Russell Wilson still got a lot left, man. I don't think he's I think Seattle just kind of needed something, you know. It just wore out. I mean, ain't no beast mode. Was they the Legion of Boom? Is all that shit's gone.
Well, it's a great move for them. It's a great move for them.
Why? Who's gonna play quarterback?
Well, Drew Lock is he a bad quarterback? I mean, he's not a great quarterback. He's not a bad. He's serviceable until he finds the next one.
Serviceable until they okay.
And I was watching the combine over the weekend. Some of the clips. And I was watching the quarterback. There's some good quarterbacks coming out.
It's a low rated class though.
But there are a few in that.
It ain't no quarterback predicted to be really picked in the first 10 picks.
But
Tank,
I'm sorry, I hear you.
I said there's no quarterback even projected to be picked in like the first round, the first 10 picks, 12 picks. I think the first quarterback might be it's the big brother from, I think, Liberty, and he's not top 20.
This what player?
Yeah, in the draft, they don't have any quarterbacks projected. I'm looking at the Mel Kiper joint, and you know the Sports Talk TV. I don't have an inside track, but this draft class is the boy from Pittsburgh, it's the boy from Liberty, it's the quarterback from, I think, Ole Miss, and I think there's one more, or the brother from Cincinnati.
The kid from Liberty, they're saying his stock is moving up.
Yeah, because he's big. Because he's big. He's big and strong, but he played 1AA. Yeah, he didn't dominate on his level, though, and he didn't play. Not that that means anything. I'm just saying, like, you know, it put a lot of pressure on. But I think when I heard him talk, because I watched him in the Senior Bowl, I heard him talk. He seemed like a pretty level-headed kid, just saying, like, man, I don't really think about no pressure or what somebody's I'm just trying to learn how to play, and you know. So I was like, okay, maybe. But it's a risk for him. The boy at Pittsburgh, the only knock that they saying is that he has little hands.
Yeah, 8.5 hands. He's like 6'4".
Yeah, so you talking about Drew Lock. I don't know if this is such a good
I mean,
thing
you
for the
like
Seahawks.
I'm not saying that you like. I'm not saying that you like you're going to save the day for Seattle. I'm just saying he's a third quarterback until they find that fourth. And they got more plenty of opportunities to do that. They got what, 2 first rounders and 2 second round picks. Now I don't know what years. You know, are those this year's draft choice, next season's draft choice? How is it packaged?
Oh, they got a bunch, but they got a shitload of. They got mad draft picks. First, second, third, fifth.
And how's it packaged? Are they getting some of those in this draft?
Yeah.
Man.
But it's not the best. But that once again, it's a draft that they're saying is low rated. Not that what they say, because you can't really 100% trust these cats, but they say that this is not a draft where any of the quarterbacks are anything special. So.
That's crazy when I hear that because when I watched the draft, I saw crazy athleticism. I mean, they even mentioned how like the receiver group, for instance, the fastest receiver core in probably the last 10 years. I mean, these dudes with the 4 threes like you was shit.
Tank,
they was 4 threes like.
You got your headphones on, Tank?
Yeah.
Okay. They saying you got an echo.
I got an echo?
That's what they're saying. T.R. Arthur said you have an echo.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to fix this.
You ain't got your device. You got your device turned down and just your headphones on? So, yeah, while Tank is fixing his audio. And football is interesting. Football is an interesting
sport. Can you hear
me?
Yeah,
I can hear you, but I can now. You got it turned up so I can hear an echo too.
You can hear the echo too?
Yeah. I think you got to turn your device down, and then it helps to have your headphones on. I can't hear you echo, but she said you have an echo. So.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, y'all. I'm working through it. How that sound?
You sound good to me. We're gonna just try to rock with it. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
I'm gonna switch headphones.
Okay. So what I was saying was it's hard, and Seattle has made some mistakes in the draft. I do like, they do got DK Metcalf, but they've, he's probably the only draft pick that they've had. They showed it. I saw it today that he's one of the only draft picks that they've had in a long time that has panned out. So who's to say they ain't gonna drop the ball again on the quarterback situation? But they're not the only team. There's a lot of teams right now that's trying to because who's gonna be the quarterback for the Buccaneers? Like it's pass another torch type situation.
Right.
So yeah, man. We'll see. Now, what's up with your mans? What's up with your boy, man? What's up with your boy who decided he want to go gamble on some games? Like Calvin Ridley for the Atlanta Falcons. Like now, this brother made a $1,500 bet, and it cost him an $11 million salary because he's a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, and he decided last year he was going to go and place a bet. Now, people are pointing saying the NFL is a hypocrite because they just got this big deal with all this money for legalized gambling and this and that. But it is very critical that the players don't gamble on the games that they playing in, right? So I do understand what they're saying. What you think about his suspension?
I agree with it.
Okay.
I agree with it.
Okay.
He should be suspended. They got very strict rules on gambling. And this is one of the reasons why players can't hold on to money.
Right. But, I want people to understand how critical it is that players don't gamble on the games because okay, I'm just not going to catch no touchdowns today. I'm not going to, I'm going to act like I'm hurt. Some of these things can directly affect the outcome of the game. So when you hear him talk about the integrity of the game is compromised and da-da-da-da, this is what they're talking about. So, yeah, most definitely. I don't think the players should be allowed to gamble, even though I understand Or maybe I would say maybe they should be allowed to gamble, just not on their own sport. Because he gambled apparently, allegedly on Falcons games.
Yeah.
Ray, I was on mental health break. No shit. That was bad. That was a bad joke. No, because I don't know what kind of state of mind this young brother was in, but $11 million in salary he was scheduled to make, and he put up a tweet that said, "I bet you $1,500 I don't have a gambling problem." That's funny. I get it. Right? Ha ha ha. Right.
Wow.
So I mean, you ain't gonna be laughing. You ain't gonna be laughing at this time next year, because you're gonna be like, "What happened to my money?" No, I hope this brother's okay. And he said he don't have a gambling problem. I hope he doesn't. But I don't know what in particular draws you to that. You play football, so you say, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go somewhere and gamble on some football." I don't know what's like, and I would have to know, is this a brother who's has some head, because we know brothers get head trauma and
Right.
all kinds of stuff. So
Well, gambling is pretty much right throughout professional sports. The players usually wind down between the tribal cities. They gamble amongst each other. They say it's really easy, to become the culture, from the gambling culture. And a lot of those guys, they high stakes gambling, because of the money they make. They break each other sometimes.
right. You know what? You're right. I mean, when we talk about, I guess these brothers dealing with having a lot of money on them all the time. So, and they all competitive dudes. So when they, I guess, when they kick, it's like, man, put 10 G's. You ain't saying nothing. Especially how we do. If all of us in the room is millionaires, we be betting on the dumbest shit in the world. It's as big as fly.
That's when that competitive drive gets the best of you. Almost all pro athletes have that extra competitive drive. That's why they're pros. You know what I'm saying? And it carries on to other things in life too. So it carries on in their gambling habits.
I guess this echo is pretty bad.
Yeah. This is tough.
I guess this is pretty bad. Let me see. There's no way I can hear it. Ladella Greer said it's crazy. Who's echoing? Is it Tank's echo or my echo? Because I can't hear.
I think it's my echo.
Okay. Let me see if I can hear it.
The lineman.
Yup.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to him. Man, they gave up. They gave up the farm.
Tank, you have a very bad echo. I don't know what's going on with you. That is pretty bad. That is pretty bad.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, Della's telling me he can't hear you, Tank. You want to go out and come back in and then see if it works like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what happened when you when you got to do your audio check on the air. Oh man, it's crazy. So it's the Big Black Sports Show, man, and so I'm having some technical difficulties. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole trade and this Russell Wilson thing, football players. See if we can bring Tank back in here and get his audio correct. Yeah, man.
Check 1 2 2. Studio problem issues. 1 2 1 2. Okay,
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not getting any feedback in my end.
Okay.
1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Let me know, Dota. Let me know if you can hear Tank right now.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
He said you still got a bad echo. Oh Lord.
What's that about?
Right. So I tell you what we're gonna do, man. I don't want you to. I don't want the people to not be able to hear you.
Right.
We might have to shut him down.
Okay, that's good. work on these difficulties here. I need to echo myself.
Yeah, you blank. I can't hear you. You blanking out when I. So look, we gonna jump off of here, man, and get this together. I ain't gonna be on the air doing this. Good looking Della. Let me know for letting me know it's messed up, man. Let me get this straight with Tank. We'll be right back at you.
Okay.